Hey guys, what's up? This is my view for the day, the underside of the car. We're going to pull out the fuel tank. Yay for that. So the first thing that I did was I went ahead and put jack stands under it. Went ahead and lifted the car up. Got it all set up, got the jack stand set up on the subframe. So here's the story. Everybody knows that you got your fuel lines that you've got to worry about getting those all disconnected. You've also got the straps here that actually hold the tank up itself, one on either side. So the first thing that I did, because I'm going to replace these fuel lines, because usually, as you can tell, they're really kind of crappy and they're old, and this car's been sitting since like early to mid 1990s. So what I did was I went ahead and just cut these off. There's a little rubber hose there. So I went ahead and cut off all of these. So that way there's nothing attaching the fuel tank. There's no lines that are attached anymore that I've got to be worried about. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to undo these screws here on the back of the straps, because you'll see that the strap is kind of hooked up here. So once I take these off, the straps are still hooked in, they'll still hold it up. Then we'll move to the rear bumper of the car by the rear valence, and we'll pull out the 2 bolts there. Hey guys, step number 1, let me not forget to tell you this. Soak those bolts in a little bit of PB Blaster, right? Go ahead and spray them down, let them soak, cut your fuel lines, and then you can worry about pulling these bolts out. They should come out a whole lot easier. I just didn't want to forget to tell you. Now I want you to notice here on the passenger side by the tail panel and rear valence, the ground for the fuel sending unit is right here as well. So before you take those bolts out, you're going to want to undo this ground first and then pull the fuel tank out and let it drop. You won't get hung up on this. I left it on there just so you could see what it was all about, so it would make some more sense to you. Okay, so now that I got all the bolts loose, lines are cut, bolts are all loose, I went ahead and pulled, before I loosened the bolt here on the left side, I went ahead and released this strap here on the passenger side, okay? Now when I undid the bolt on the left, I just stuck my knee underneath the gas tank to hold it up like this, right? Because when there ain't no gas in it, it's surprisingly light. So now all you got to be careful for is the fuel filler neck up here at the valence panel, taillight panel. That's going to hold it up a little bit. So now it's just a matter of finagling it out nice and easy and nice and slow. Once the tank is down, you got to disconnect the fuel sending unit, the electrical line for that. So all I got to do is just pop that off, and now the fuel tank is free. Now I will say this, the holy grail for Camaros, for these early F-bodies, is a build sheet on top of the gas tank. You'll notice my car has none. So sad for me. So if you get lucky enough, when you pull your gas tank down, there may be a piece of paper glued to the top of the gas tank. Do not try and rip it off. Take a picture of it first, so that way you got it, right? And then you can try and rebuild the Camaro based on the original build sheet. Very, very, very rare to find them come out of Norwood. You could find them coming out of LA every once in a while. So this tank's obviously pretty beat up. It's kind of old. It's really beat up from underneath. So I'm just going to replace this tank altogether, and that'll be fun and exciting. I'm going to worry about pulling the fuel lines and the brake lines off and all that once I can get it on the rotisserie and flip it over on its side, which is going to be a fun and awesome video, or probably a set, because I'm going to do a build video and then we're going to do the flip video. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Be safe out there.